संसार दावानंदनीर लोका
तस्मात् मय्यर्पितशेष क्रियातात्मनिरन्तरः मय्यर्पितात्मनः पुंसः मयि सन्न्यासकर्मणः न पश्यामि परं भूतम् आकृतो समदर्शनात्. Translation and purport by Divine Desi Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Gopāl. Therefore, I do not find a greater person than he who has no interest outside of mind, and who therefore engages and dedicates all his activities and all his life, everything, unto me without cessation. Kindly respond, therefore, I do not find a greater person than he who has no interest outside of mind, and who therefore engages and dedicates all his activities and all his life, everything, unto me without cessation. In this world, the word Samadarshanath means that he no longer has any separate interest. The devotee's interest and the Supreme Personality of God's interest are one. For example, Lord Chaitanya in the role of a devotee also preached the same philosophy. He preached that Kṛṣṇa is the worshipful God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that the interest of his pure devotees is the same as his own. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers, due to a poor fund of knowledge, define the word Samadarshanath to mean that a devotee should see himself as one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is foolishness. When one thinks himself one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no question of serving him. When there is service, there must be master. Three things must be present for there to be service: the master, the servant, and the service. There is clearly stated that he who has dedicated his life, all his activities, mind and his soul, everything for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord, is considered to be the greatest person. The word Akrito means without any sense of proprietorship. Everyone wants to act as the proprietor of his actions so that he can enjoy the result. A devotee, however, has no such desire. He acts because the personality of Godhead wants him to act in a particular way. He has no personal motive. When Lord Chaitanya preached Krishna consciousness, it was not with the purpose that people would call him Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, he preached that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and should be worshipped as such. A devotee who is the most confidential servant of the Lord never does anything for his personal account, but does everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. It is clearly stated, therefore, Maya Sannyasa Karmanaha, the devotee works, but he works for the Supreme. It is also stated, Maya Arpita Manaha, he gave his mind unto me. These are the qualification of devotee who according to this were accepted as the highest of all human beings. So, the position of a devotee is very, very exalted. Devotee's position is not an ordinary cheap thing. As you know, here you can see in this verse, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Aham Bhakta Paradino Ya Asvantantara Eva Tija Sadhu Bhivasta Hridayo Bhakte Bhakta Janatiya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires, I sit only within the core of your heart. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. This is the tradition of the Lord, speaking about his devotee. Because he is speaking about a pure devotee. Not when someone thinks that this is devotee means referring to you or me. Yes, referring to a pure devotee. And the qualification of pure devotee is given in today's verse. See? Here we go on says, Nahamatmana Sesha Madhvate Sadudivina Sriyamachat Atyantikam Brahman Yesham Gatit Aham Param. O best of the Brahmanas, without saintly persons for whom I am the only destination, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss and my supreme opulence. The Lord does not like to be in a place where there is no devotees to follow. He likes to be with the devotees. Are you following? He does not like to be with the non-devotees. Listen. Then he says further, since pure devotees give up their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, and even their lives, what is it? Lives, and even their lives, simply to serve me without any desire for material improvement in this life or in next. How can I give up such devotees at any time? See how the Lord is reciprocating. If someone surrenders himself to Kṛṣṇa, see how Kṛṣṇa is not forsaking him. Sometimes this question is asked, if I surrender to Kṛṣṇa, what will happen to my life? If Kṛṣṇa looks after you, is there any problem? No problem. Then why you are not coming? Why you are not coming? What? Oh, you started last week giving up. Alright. As a chaste woman bring their gentle husband under control by service, the pure devotees who are equal to everyone and completely attached to me in the core of their heart, bring me under their full control. See how the Lord is surrendered to his devotees. The same word here. This was the word samadarshana. Again, same word, is it? Sadhava samadarshanaha. Is that? Same word. My devotees who are always satisfied to be engaged in my loving service are not interested even in the four principles of liberation. Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya and Srashti. Although these are automatically achieved by the service, but then, what then is to be said of such perishable happiness and elevation to the higher planetary system? So they don't even want this four liberation. That means, will they be interested in heaven, Swarga? Not interested. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. See what Krishna is saying? So again, you can see how the Lord is speaking about his pure devotees. Okay, in the Bhagavad Gita, you chant this sloka. Advasta sarva bhutanam anipya karuna evacha emamo nirankara samadota sukachani santosta satatam yogi atma tutanishya ayakito manubuddhe Yomad bhakta same priya. Again he said the same thing. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Same point. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking how a devotee yes man no divijat loko lokan no divijat chaya Shamachamayodvege Muktaya Sametriya. Again he said, he by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equiposed in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me. Again, Krishna is saying. Anapeksha suchir daksham udasino gatavyastaham sarvaramba parityagi yomat bhakta same priya. Anapeksha means neutral. Apeksha means rejecting. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary cause of activities, who is pure, expert, without care, free from all pain and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. Again, Krishna is speaking. This verse is in the Bhagavad Gita. No yona vishyate na dvesi na sochate na kanchati subha subha parityagi bhakti manya same priya. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. See that? Again. Sama satru cha mitre cha tata mana pamanayo sitosna sukha dukeshu samasanga vibhajita tulyananda sute maune santosha yena kena chit aniketa stiramate bhakti mane priyo naram. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any resident, who is fixed in knowledge and is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. So you see how Krishna is explaining in today's verse, devotees are exalted and are very dear to him. Not that the Lord is, impartial. It's not impartial, because the devotees know nobody but the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is also reciprocate similarly. Again, in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the same point are also narrated. Nirapeksham mune santam nirvairam samadarshanam. Again, the word samadarshanam. Anuvrajyamyaham nityam puye tiyam girirenubi. Anapeksham is not personal desire. Anapeksham neutral. With the dāsa of my devotees' lotus feet, I desire to purify the material world, which are situated within me. Thus I always follow the footsteps of my pure devotees, who are free from all personal desire, wrapped in thought of my pastime, peaceful without any feelings of enmity and of equal disposition everywhere. See that? You understand? How the Lord is further explaining to Uddhava. You see? With the dāsa of my pure devotees, and with the dāsa of my devotees' lotus feet, I desire to purify the material world. He never said that he wanted to purify my feet. See how the Lord is becoming humble to the devotees. Is that the point? Thus I always follow the footsteps of my pure devotees. Can you see how he is speaking? He never said they follow my footsteps. Following their footsteps. Who are free from all personal desire. This is the qualification of the pure devotee. Wrapped in thought of my pastime, peaceful and without any feelings of enmity and of equal disposition of it everywhere. So can't you know the word in that Bhagavatam? What is that? What is the word in the Bhagavatam? Majjita Madgata Prana Bodayantas Parasparam Katayantra Chamam Nityam Susyam Vicharam and Vicha. What is the translation? Can you read that? That is 10, 9. What is the translation?
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
That same thing. The wrapped in thought of my pastime, peaceful and without any feeling of enmity. Someone may be his enemy, but he will have not any enemy. That's the devotee, understand? Devotee doesn't mean that he what? He keeps enemy, no? Others may be his enemy. Follow. Again another word from the Bhagavatam. Third canto. What is that? Jatam prasanga mama virya samvido Kṛṣṇa bhavanti rasayana tataha. Again, the same point. Is that? Can you read that for me?
The association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is free and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin.
So that again, same point, 3:25:25, those who don't know it. Right? Next, 3:25:25, those who don't know. Niskinchana maya anurakta setusha shantamanto kila jiva vatsalaha akila jiva vatsalaha. Is that word? You know this Sanskrit? Akila means all, jiva means soul, Vatsala means very, very clear. Kamer analapta diya jushtanti de yan nai. Again is another word. Nairapekhyam. Na viduhu sukam mama. It's very nice to learn this Sanskrit a bit. See, Vatsalaha, is that? Bhakta Vatsala, you know his name, they call him Bhakta Vatsala? Affectionate well-wisher. Right? Nairapekhyam, achieved only by complete detachment. See, apeksha, nirapeksha, anapeksha. It is one word only. How many times it is used in different ways? Right? Those who are without any desires for personal gratification, whose minds are always attached to me, who are peaceful, without false ego and merciful to all living entities, and whose consciousness is never affected by opportunities for sense gratification, such person enjoy in me a happiness that cannot be known or achieved by those lacking such detachment from material world. How perfect. Understand few of the words. I read it again so you can see. It doesn't go all together. Those who are without any desire for personal gratification. What that verse in the Bhagavad Gita for that? What? I think it's 15 one. Nirmamo Nirankar. That is, just now we read that. There is one verse in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15. What is that verse? Yeah, it's 15.5. Let's go a bit to the 15.5 before we come back here. Yeah, this is another verse that's quite similar. Nirmana moha jita sangha dosha Atyatma nitya nivrittakam Danvai vimukta sukha dukkha sangai Chanti amuda. This word amuda, one is not a food. Padam avyayam, that muda means food. Amuda means not a food. Right? Those who are free from false prestige, illusion and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lusts, who are free from dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender to the Supreme, attain to that eternal kingdom. My dear Uddhava, if my devotee has not fully conquered his senses, he may be harassed by material desires, but because of his unflinching devotion for me, he will not be defeated by sense gratification. Can you imagine this? Even you come to Kṛṣṇa, even you are not perfect, still Maya will not touch his. You understand? Anyone who is not a devotee, then Kṛṣṇa said, you are not devotee. See, Klesho dikatarastesham avyakta shakta setasham avyakta hegate dukam deha bhaktir avyakyate. For those whose mind are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. This is referring to those people who are impersonalists. What about those who are karma yogis? What is that one word after Tatvar Gopishaka?
Nice karma, apya
Yeah,
chita bhava varjita.
what is that?
1:5:12.
1:5:12. Here, those people who are karma yogis. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look good, does not look well if devoid of conception of the infallible God. What then is the use of fruitive activities which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature, if they are not utilized for devotional service to the Lord. Can you tell this is the meaning of Karma Yoga? So Jnana Yogis are having difficulties, Karma Yogis are having difficulties. You follow? You understand? Only the devotees, they are free. You see the difference? So you see the devotee, even though he is engaged in sense gratification, he is not fully conquered his senses. Still, he is not defeated by man. Bhagavad Gita, what verse is that? And quoting verses, you are sleeping. How you can understand this? What is that? Bhagavad Gita is basic book. You should know in the fingertips. Chipram bhavanti dharmatma sattvat shanti gacchate kamdaya pratijanahi ma bhakta pranashyate. Right? See that? Sri Krishna is saying, he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declared boldly that my devotee never perish, because Krishna is protecting him. You follow this point? Understand this? My dear Uddhava, just as the blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, similarly devotion unto me completely burnt to ashes, sins committed by my devotees. Understand this point? How Krishna is so kind to the devotees. Even the devotee commits sinful activities. Krishna what? What he does? Burns. You understand? What is that verse? Swapada 11 what?
11:542.
11:542. One who has thus given up all other engagement and has taken full shelter at the lotus feet of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is very dear to the Lord. And that if such a surrendered soul accidentally commits some sinful activity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated within everyone's heart, immediately takes away the reaction to such sin. Same thing. Yes? So that means the devotees are extremely dear to the Lord, and he is always so careful to look after them. Today he was reading in the Nectar of Devotion. What was he reading? A person who has completely surrendered unto me and has completely given up all other activities is protected by me personally, both in this life and in the next. I wish to help him become more and more advanced in spiritual life. Such a person is to be understood as having already achieved srishti, having equal opulence with the Supreme. So that simply by taking devotional service, purifying, Krishna already building a house there for you. How much benefit you get by being a devotee? Yes? What to speak about associating. If you, also the same point is mentioned in chapter 4, text 36, 37, Bhagavad Gita. Just by associating with my pure devotees, all sinful activities are burnt to ashes again. Same thing Krishna says. Understand? In other words, Krishna is not joking. He is just saying, and he means it. Just like now you are coming to Krishna consciousness. Yes? And by coming to Krishna consciousness, all your karma, sinful, is going. Is it not? Yes or no? Okay? Proofs. What is that? 4, 30? 37. 437. As the blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reaction to material activities. Again, you know, one is speaking to Arjuna, now he is speaking to Uddhava. You follow? It's not that he's speaking to Arjuna one thing and he's quietly, secretly telling Uddhava something else. There's no such thing. You understand? This is why it is perfect. It is perfect from the start to the end. You follow this point? Next verse. No time already. My dear Uddhava, the unalloyed devotional service rendered to me by my devotees bring me under their control. I cannot be thus controlled by those engaged in mystic yoga, Sankhya philosophy, pious work, Vedic study, austerity or renunciation. Only by practicing unalloyed devotional service with full faith in me can one obtain me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am naturally dear to my devotees who take me as their only goal of their loving service. By engaging in such pure devotional service, even the dog eaters can purify themselves from the contamination of their low birth. Right? So here Krishna is explaining how you become a pure devotee. Correct? You must be detached. You must have no material sense of proprietorship. You must be pure-hearted. So many conditions, yes? What else does Krishna say that make someone very dear to him? Can you think about it? Yes, got the thing right. 1868. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotee, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And the end he will come back to me. See that? In other words, if you don't have all this, you have all bad quality, whatever. But if you preach, you become very dear to Krishna. That's why Krishna says in the next verse, Nacha tasman manusyesu kaścin me priyakritamah Bhavitana cha me tasman anye priyataro bhuvi. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he. Nor will there ever be one more dear. See that point here? If you become a preacher, you open your mouth and what do you say? What is it? What do you say? Come on. You say Hare Krishna. Very good. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, you see this again. Ye yayetan mama bhakteshu sampradatyatsu pushkalam asham brahma dasyasya dathami atmanam atmanam. One who liberally disseminates this knowledge among my devotees is bestower of the absolute truth, and to him I give my very own self. You understand? Again the same point is said. If you preach, oh, Krishna becomes very, very pleased with you. You understand? He who loudly recites the supreme knowledge which is most lucid and purifying, become purified day by day, for he revealed me to others with the lamp of transcendental knowledge. He never say you're too silent. What is Krishna asking to do? Loudly open your mouth and what? Hare Krishna. Right? Preach. Anyone who regularly listens to this knowledge with faith and attention, all the while engaging in my pure devotional service, will never become bound by the reaction of material world. My dear Uddhava, have you now completely understood this transcendental knowledge, that the confusion and lamentation that arose in your mind now is that same thing he asked Arjuna. What is that word? Huh? Oh Prita, oh Conqueror well, have you heard this with an attentive mind? Krishna don't want you to sleep. Understand? And are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled? Same thing again. Don't think Krishna is a fool, right? Just talk and pass time, wasting time. Right? You should not share this instruction with anyone who is hypocritical, atheistic or dishonest, or with anyone who will not listen faithfully, who is not a devotee or who is simply not humble. Same thing is said again in the Bhagavad Gita. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one with envious of me. Because they have more things. See the point? This knowledge should be taught to one who is free from these bad qualities, who is dedicated to the welfare of the Brahmanas, and who is kindly disposed, saintly and pure. And if common workers and women are found to have devotion for the Supreme Lord, they are also to be accepted as qualified hearers. In other words, you should teach this knowledge. When an inquisitive person comes to understand this knowledge, he has nothing further to know. After all, one who has drunk the most palatable nectar cannot remain thirsty. That means, Rajavitya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuktamam. This is the king of knowledge, right? Secret of secret, correct? 9 what? See, Krishna is saying, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Patyachavagaham Dharmyam Susukam Kartamavyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self and realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and is joyfully performed. I'm sure you read that, right? Many times. So, next verse, finish. Through analytical knowledge, ritualistic work, mystic yoga, mundane business and political rule, people seek to advance in religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and tuition. But because you are my devotee, whatever man can accomplish in multifarious ways, you will very easily find within me. In other words, if you come to Krishna, then everything is good. There's nothing more once you come to Krishna. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting in the know of everything, he therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not perhaps the result derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifice, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, they attain all this, and at the end he reaches the supreme eternal goal. Okay? Yes? Okay, thank you very much. Getting late.
Saṅsāra dāvānana niraloka Nānāya kārina ghana ghanatyam Sapta sakalana gunarnavasya Bande gurasri charanarabindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita